Hello and welcome to Extra Time, the sports chat show here on Big Centre TV with me, Gary James, and guests from Walsall Football Club, Dan Moll.
Hi, Gary.
Liz Allsopp.
Hi.
And former Walsall player, hey, Jimmy Walker. Welcome.
Hi,
Welcome all. Okay. As we know, Walsall off to Wembley very, very soon. Also, as you're watching this programme tonight, Walsall are playing against Sheffield United. You'll know the score if you watch the repeat tomorrow, but obviously at the moment we don't. We haven't got a clue. So we can't mention it, and that's why we're not mentioning it. So first of all, before we get on to the big weekend and the big game, Jimmy, if I can come to you, you started your career, in Notts County? I think it was.
Notts County, a long while ago, going now.
Yeah.
Long while ago.
Is that the youth team?
Youth team, so 16 years of age. A great time there, to be honest. I was in the digs with the lads. There's about 20 of us in there. Still 4 or 5 of my best mates still now. Michael Johnson was in that youth team as well.
Yeah.
So it was a great time, really good time. Set me up for football well. And then I went to Walsall after 2 years YT, 2 years professional. And I went to Walsall just after that.
Yeah. And who was the manager at the time at Walsall? Was it?
It was Kenny Hibbett at the
Kenny
time.
Hibbett.
Kenny Hibbett.
Kenny
And Paul
Hibbett.
Taylor was there, and Kenny was great. You know, he took me in. I'd sort of fell out of love with the game a little bit at Notts County, not playing in the first team or anything. It got to me, and I got released towards a couple of months before the summer. Lost my way a little bit. Went on a couple of holidays as you do, and my old man sort of shook me back into shape. Said, "Right, go on, you need to have another go." Walsall on the phone. I remember Paul Taylor ringing on a Saturday morning after I just got back, I think, from Tenerife. I was a little bit out of shape, shall we say, at least. I spoke to him and he says, "You want to come in on trial, etc.?" I said, "Yeah, of course." So I think, a couple of weeks at least to get myself back something looking like a football player. Yeah. And he said, "When you're in," I asked when he was in next day. So I thought, I'm struggling. But went in there. Kenny was great, to be fair. Back in the day, it was just pure running for the first few days. And as we ran for 3 days, I weren't great, shall we say. And Kenny sort of gave me a few home truths. Yeah. And I asked him to take me on. On the tour. They was going to Ireland the week after. And I said, "Look, if you take me on that, hopefully you'll see the real me in games and that." So with that, he took me, I think, at the time and did okay in that, and signed us after, and the rest, he said, was history, as they say.
Yeah. Well, of course, you played. I think it's over 500 games now, isn't it?
Yeah, record appearance holder for us. One of the best players I've seen play for the club, to be honest with you.
Thank you, Dan.
It's true.
It's nice of you to admit that on the telly.
Yeah, only once. Maybe said that once.
I saw the notes passing earlier. But so, in your Walsall career, in fact, all of your career actually, who's the best player that you've played with, or the best? Let's say the best attacker that's come at you.
It's a hard question. There's been a lot. There's been a lot over the years. The best players I've played with probably was. I've fortunate to play with some great players. But towards the end at Spurs was fantastic. There was Modric was in the team, Bale was in the team. I'm name dropping for fun there. I think overall was Sheringham. To be honest, he was coming towards the end of his career at West Ham. He was fantastic. But at Walsall, we had some fantastic players over the years. We had Vinnie Samways, we had Paul Merson was obviously a player when I was there and before he took over as manager. So some great players. But playing against is difficult. I always found Crouchy difficult, being so tall. Played against him a few times. I think at Portsmouth he always managed to nick a goal. Yeah. And you always have as a goalie, you always have someone who scores. And mine was Jamie Curitan, sort of more of a journeyman footballer, a good player, real good player. And I remember he I don't know what it was about him, but he always used to score against him. I think it was one game he scored a hat-trick, and it was at Walsall, if I remember right. I'm going in the archives here, I think it was 2-2 at the time. No, it was 3-2 up with a minute to go. He'd scored 2, was holding on, we were going for promotion at this time as well, so it was an important game. I remember I got a back pass, and as I've gone to smash it down the channel, I've caught it a treat. He's come in and closed it down. It's cleaned him out on the jaw, knocked him Sparko on the floor, and the ball's dribbling the goal for a 3-3. Ray Graydon weren't the best pleased for me, but I didn't know what I could do. So Curitan against me, he was the main one.
And regarding managers, Kenny signed you for Walsall. Again, the similar really question is the best manager that you've been with, because you've been at Walsall, obviously you've been at Spurs, West Ham.
No, I've been, like I say again, I've been fortunate. I've worked with some great managers. Harry at Spurs, etc. And Pods took me to West Ham, which was great. So But I think the one that stands out for me, and I think you might have been at the club then, was Chris Nicholl for me. He was actually the hardest man I've ever seen, and he had his way was he said things 3 times, and the first to be really quietly, so you listened in, and as you listened in, he'd say it really loudly, and then he'd repeat it just so you understood again, and by the third you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, okay.
Didn't he come in the dressing room the first day and say, I want promotion,
Yeah.
I want promotion, I want
That's
promotion.
exactly what he said it like. Exactly
3 times.
With the 3 times. Exactly. I think the chairman at the time, Mr. Bonser, I'm calling that for. I should say that and tell him. But Jeff would come in and introduced him, and Kenny was a good manager, a good man. I know, but Chris was different. He was strict, and we had rumours who was coming in, etc. And he come through the door, and the chairman's introducing him, and I think he ushered him out the door rather swiftly, and he took the tightest blazer off I've ever seen, and he just chucked it in the bin. And that's when he said the 3. That's when he said the 3. I want promotion. And he got it, to be fair. So he must have been doing something right. But he was very technically sound as well at the time, and we had some good players in the team, and he got the best out of them. And we got promoted sort of from mid-table that season. It was a fantastic season. That was my first taste of a promotion. So.
And did you find it's with Chris, obviously a former player himself, he understands a little bit more maybe than some of the managers that, I mean, there's not that many, but 1 or 2 that haven't played. Is there a different respect?
I think there's definitely respect for Chris. I don't think just because he played, although he was a fantastic player back in the day, and he played, with some big players. He always used to tell me the stories of Peter Shilton and Johnny Burridge, and they was my heroes as goalkeepers. So he got me at them already. He'd reeled us in on that. So I was sucked in by him anyway. I was taken in by him, but he was fantastic. He was the ultimate rule by fear, I think, was the main thing. But he knew what he was saying, and he's one you still call him Gaffer now. And I think I took my boy away to Spain, took him to La Manga actually, and I didn't know at the time, but for the week we just went for a little trip, me and my boy, and at the time as I got there was like a footballers golf classic on. And Chris was there, and he walked through the bushes one day with his golf clubs, and I've absolutely melted. Hi, Gaffer. But he was there, and he was great, and it was Ray Graydon was there as well. It was fantastic for us at that time, and so them 2 was there, and they made me take them out for a meal at night. And made me pay. I couldn't believe it. And they said for all the grief, that was for all the grief I gave them apparently. But I think for the amount of fines they took off me, they should have paid me back.
That restaurant is still on the phone to us now because he sent the bill back to the club.
and your time at Walsall, because Walsall's like it's a proper family club, isn't it, guys? And Liz, from your time there, was there a great reaction with the players? And is there still a big involvement? And do players get stuck in on? They understand the commercial side of what has to go on?
Yes, and even more so with the Wembley journey. I mean, the players have been, I don't know whether you've seen it on Twitter and on Facebook, the players have been in the office, they've been helping out. We've had them on the ticket office, we've had them selling tickets, we've had them making tea. There's a very much family, there's a community feel there. And I mean, this is something that Walsall's been waiting for a long time. Yeah. A long time.
and going back when obviously in your days there, Jimmy, as a player, did you like to get involved in that side of it?
Only if Dan told me to.
If I weren't going to fine him,
he took big fines in that side. It's something you enjoy doing as a player. You put a little bit back in the community, and especially if it's a kids thing as well. And charities and the hospice visits and that at Christmas time. It's good to do and put a little bit back.
And before we go on to Wembley, and we will do probably in part 2 in a sec. What are you doing now? I know you were at Peterborough. Coaching and what are you up to these days?
No, officially on gardening leave at the minute, so the golf handicap's coming back down again because the coaching side of things is quite. Your golf goes out the window, so it's not like a player. But no, looking forward to getting back into it, and had a nice little breather from it. You work on a few ideas as well away from it when you haven't got the pressure of being in the games. I've watched some good games and got a few more new ideas, like I said, and look forward to getting back into it.
And the save that you've probably been dining out on for years. The one he saved against Lampard.
Yeah, I don't like to mention that one, Gary.
But you can.
Anyone who follows me on the Twitter would see that. I don't like to mention that. But anyway, there I was, Shed End, Stamford Bridge. No, it was
poor penalty.
What do you mean poor penalty? No. To be honest, it wasn't the best penalty. I must admit, but the game was fantastic. It was my away debut for West Ham, and I saw there was about 6,000 behind, and it was held up for about 4 or 5 minutes. meat pies coming past and everything, £2 coins flying at me. I knew I'd arrived because it used to be like 5p's and 20p's. It was £2 coins. So I think, I better save this, and unfortunately I did. And like you say, I've dined out on it a while now, which is great.
Yeah. And just on the golf point, what's your handicap?
It depends on the tournament.
Okay.
I'm around.
If there's money for it.
Yeah, exactly. Good
28.
prizes. I'm off 24 now. I think I'm back down to a steady 14 now, so a bit to go again.
Okay, that's going to come down. But I look forward to a round of golf then.
Brilliant. Unfortunately.
Right, for now we're going to talk Wembley in a few seconds. But now we're off to pinch ourselves. Only 5 days to go until the big game, and it's not a dream. Walsall are going to Wembley. And if you've got any suggestions for guests in the future you'd like to see on Extra Time, then please get in touch. Email extraTime@bigcentre.tv. But now it's half time on Extra Time. Welcome back to Extra Time. This is the second half with Jimmy Walker, Liz Allsopp, Dan Mole and me, Gary James. Now, for those of you of a certain age who were around in the 80s, you'll know what I mean when I say we haven't woken up in the shower. It's true. It isn't a dream. Walsall are going to Wembley. And you were there as a coach, weren't you, last season, and with Peterborough, who are the holders at the moment.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, I was, it was a fantastic occasion.
Yeah.
We were just chatting in the interval there about the numbers and the attendance and that, and I think people managed to take 22,000, which was fantastic, and Chesterfield at the other end was similar. So it was a great 45, 50,000 there was fantastic. But playing at Wembley, it's like we say, it's a childhood dream. So for the players, this week the build up to it was amazing. And on the coaching side as well, it was fantastic. Being my first season coaching, and to actually get there and win that was great. And like I said, the build up to it, just around the change rooms, you go on the day before, and we were debating, doing the tour and all that, and turn it into a big thing. But we thought, well, sometimes you might not get there. You might not get there in your career again. So we did it. We did a lot. We trained down at Arsenal the day before, and we did the tour of Wembley before it, and stayed in a nice hotel before it, etc. And the build-up was great, and then just driving through into to Wembley itself on the coach is special. Even for a coach. Listen, nothing beats being a player. I've not found anything that comes close to doing it as a player yet, but that was a fantastic feeling, and to see the lads celebrating on the sidelines with them after was brilliant.
Yeah, can't be repeated, can it?
No, it's fantastic.
No. So and the club, Dan and Liz, what's it really meant from your side of the business? I mean, obviously, Dan, you're the club secretary, and Liz, you're the commercial manager. It's a lot of hard work, isn't it?
It is, but I think it's very much just. It's a case of we've worked really hard and everybody's pulled together. We've all kind of put our roles to one side, and it's been dedicated to the Wembley, and from fans queuing from 2 o'clock in the morning, and the guys who are like loyal fans. And so for the club, it's massive. It's something that's really, really big, and it's brought Walsall together. I think that times pass and clubs do so much, but it's really brought everybody out the woodwork. Everybody's come. Everybody wants to be part of Walsall Football Club and united the town as a town as it was.
And from the commercial point of view, what have you had to do that's different? I mean, merchandise-wise, have you brought out scarves that have got Wembley on?
Yes, the club shop is fully loaded. We have lots of things there available to purchase. I mean, if anybody's coming to the match tonight, they'll be available. We have foam fingers, we have jester hats, we have everything. Everything you'd ever need for a Wembley trip, we have in store. So yeah, everything's available.
Just fingers crossed that trophy comes back.
Oh yes.
And as club secretary, mate, you don't just type letters, do you?
No. I find a few players. I find him a few times. But really, the main focus for me has been the logistical side of it. Like Wacker spoke about, the team, how they're going about things. We're very similar to Peterborough. We thought to ourselves, how many times are you going to experience this? So we'll be going down on the Friday, and we'll be making sure that our preparations are exactly as we want them. We want to do the tour of Wembley, not from a tourist point of view, but from a point of view for the lads. You'll know about being in that surrounding and not being. You don't want them to be frightened on the day. You want them to feel a bit more relaxed about what they're doing in the journey that they're going on. So they'll do that. We'll train at a Premier League training ground on the Saturday as well. Prepare properly, stop over Saturday, and then obviously the big game on Sunday. So from a secretary's point of view, it's a lot of my work has been the logistical side of getting the team giving them the best possible chance to win
And,
the trophy.
and that side of it, if you like, the backroom side, I mean, Wembley, are they really welcoming and with advice and really want you guys to have the best day? Or
Yeah, I mean, I think of all the finals that Wembley hosts football-wise, the trophy's probably the most relaxed, possibly the most enjoyable one, because the FA Cup and the League Cup and playoffs are massive, massive occasions, and the focus is purely on victory for one of the two teams. And I'm not saying that we're not going there to win. We are 100%. But when you've never been to Wembley in 127 years, you'd be a fool not to embrace the fact that you've got there first and foremost. That's an achievement. We'll put that to bed come the weekend and focus on winning the competition, which is what it's all about. I asked Wacker about what's it like to go there. He said it's wonderful, but it's even better to go there and win. And I think
It's the only way to go.
go.
I think you're doing it the right way.
Yeah.
We had the same debate, and we've said, embrace it. And hopefully it'll take the players to that extra level that they need out there. And it's like I say, it's a fantastic occasion.
It's
and
something you toy with, don't you think? Do we go as a normal away game? Do we go the night
that was
before?
exactly it, yeah.
Tracksuits, go to.
Because like you say,
go?
you don't want to make too much of a big deal of it, do you? But actually, it is a big deal.
Yeah.
So why not embrace it?
Exactly.
We got suit. I don't know if you've gone down the suit routes.
Luke Roper.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
Roper.
there you go.
I
get that one in.
didn't get me one, but I don't mind.
You didn't get one done.
Couldn't get one to fit me.
No, I didn't like
And
to
you're
say that.
all right
I
as
didn't
well,
like
by
to
the
say
way.
that.
Don't think there'll be one for you these days.
No, you're right, mate. You're right. That belt's gone out a couple of notches.
But that's a nice touch, isn't it, Luke? Local lad, and with his company come up to
Well, we've experienced a lot of that. I mean, Liz, obviously from a commercial point of view, but as you rightly said, from the local people, really. Not just Walsall fans, Villa, Wolves, Blues, Albion.
Yeah.
There's a real sense of it. Fans coming together to support us. I mean, the fact we're taking 29,000 to Wembley is
just amazing.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. And Liz, coming back to the commercial side, what about your sponsors and your advertisers? Do they get an opportunity to get on the back of this within the programme or advertise at Wembley?
I mean, Wembley have obviously been very, very kind, and they've put forward some opportunities for some of our sponsors, which we've offered it to, and a couple of them have taken it up, which is perfect. As regards to riding on the back of Wembley, let's hope that they come forward and want to support us a little bit more, which would be great. But I mean, all our sponsors, they're very good. They're very good.
Yeah.
They're very good to us.
Because obviously your shirt sponsor, and we've got one behind us here with Home Serve.
Yeah.
And that they've been shirt sponsored for three.
No, this is their first one.
First one, is it?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
A good day.
Well.
And a local-based company, but
Yes.
a worldwide company.
Exactly.
Yes.
Very similar to Luke Roper in that sense, got local roots but a global name, and Home Serve have been absolutely fantastic. I mean, as we speak, they're kitting out our community room for us. There's a bit of a Home Serve SOS. They've been wonderful sponsors, as of all our commercial partners.
Yeah.
And like you said, Gary, listen, it's a fantastic family club. It's a great club. Love the clubs a bit. And I'm pleased for is behind the scenes, if I'm being honest, for these guys, especially the people who worked with for all them years, Dan, and you've got Roy Wally there and Mick Kearns and the people like that. It's a great achievement for the club. And to go there, they deserve to enjoy it more than anyone. And as well, the fans who have been brilliant. Like you said, Millennium was a fantastic occasion. We've brought a lot of success over the years. Well, certainly in the last 10 years or so when I was there, it was a great time. But this is great for them, and to be able to go there is fantastic. I'm buzzing for them.
Yeah, no, it's good. And you mentioned Roy Wally there. I think Roy's on this coming Friday morning on the Midland with Bob Hall.
Brilliant.
He's a guest to come on because he's a great guy.
Yeah, Mr. Walsall. They're all everyone behind the scenes. Andy Paul, yourself, have been great for me.
I mean, just coming back to players, and I can't imagine how you must feel, but to not be in that squad when the gaffer announces it.
Cool.
What's it like? Have you ever been in that position?
I had it in the FA Cup final when I was at West Ham.
Yeah.
I did my knee. We played in the playoffs the year before at the Millennium, and we were fortunate to get promoted. But it was bittersweet for me because with 2 minutes to go, I ended up injuring my knee, which put me out for about, I think it was about 9 months all in all to start with, and then a bit longer after. But as I was coming back, I was just focused on getting back in the Prem because obviously that'd been my aim through all the time of playing football, and I've been wrote off a few times, but wanted to really, so I got that close to it, and then to get injured was really bittersweet for me, but it was still a fantastic day. But coming back there, I knew sort of to go and play in the Prem was my aim, so that was just fully focused, and we had a good cup run during that time, and I got back for sort of the quarterfinals fit again, and Podge he'd asked me how I was. He didn't think I was going to be right for the season, but he said, "How are you?" Blah blah, and I said, "Listen, stick with me. I'll be back for the running." And happened. I was right in the end, and I got back to a real good fitness, played my part in that, and towards the end, there was me and Shaka Allsopp at the time, and Shaka had played every round. Then towards the end of the Prem season, we'd been mixing and matching, and Shaka had given me, pause on the Thursday, give me the call in, the dreaded call. I'm thinking this could go either way, and he's decided to stick with Shaka. So it was a bit of, it was hard. It was a hard one to take because the FA Cup final is another ball of dream.
It's a dream, isn't it?
I understood where he was going with it. Shaka had been fantastic every round. It was just one of them you really wanted to play in it. So it is a hard pill to swallow, but you come out of the office and just get on with it. And we was unlucky in the end. Although I do still say I'd have changed history with Gerrard's shot and tipped it around the post. That was my game low.
There's another one to dine out, Anna.
That's
why his belts are big. He's always going out on these stories.
So we're only a few days away. The guys, as we're speaking, the guys are on the pitch.
Yep.
And if you're watching this on the repeat once again, you'll know what the result is. I suppose they could have done without it tonight, but it's just the way it comes, isn't it? Tickets left. If anybody wants some at this late stage,
yeah,
still
very few, but we've still got a few.
We do have.
Coaches all sold out, haven't we? But we've still got a few tickets left for Wembley. And obviously our season tickets are on sale at the moment. Our early bird season tickets, which free football for all under 18. So you can't ask for anything more than free, can you? So they're on sale throughout the month of March. So
that's brilliant. Okay, well that brings us to the close. The final whistle approaches. We'll have more Walsall chat on Thursday when Mick Kearns will be our guest, along with Wembley Stadium announcer Paul Burrell. But for now, thanks to Liz Allsopp, commercial manager at Walsall. Thanks to Dan Moll, company secretary, club secretary, and of course to Jimmy Walker. Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming on. That's about it. That's a full-time whistle. On Extra Time, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.